Hello everyone. So, myself Vikas, and I am again here with the fifth session of this webinar series. As if you missed the previous sessions, please go to my channel and watch those sessions. Basically, these all the sessions about the product life cycle. At every stage of the product life cycle, you have to take some strategic decisions and you have to utilize some of the tools. So this entire series is all about during the product life cycle, how can we move forward? How can we take the strategic decisions? So with that, I'm just sharing my screen, and with that, we'll start the session. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is the session 5, and we are in this session. We will talk about some design thinking tool and lean UI UX. The idea is, as I mentioned in the previous sessions as well, that we need to promote the customer centricity, and this session will allow you or will provide you the tool how to can create or maintain that customer centricity, right? So let's move forward for the session, and during the session, I'll cover, so just a quick recap of the previous sessions. I'll talk about the design thinking, what is fundamentally design thinking is, and some design thinking tools like user persona, customer journey map, whole product thinking, and at the end, lean UI UX we'll cover. Yeah. So let's go. Now, this is the journey actually we are going through. We have discussed about the ideation and inception in the previous sessions, also feasibility and planning. Right now, we are in the segment where we'll discuss about the design to development. Although we have discussed some of the design thinking tool in the previous session as well, while we were doing the ideation or just figuring out the if the idea is viable or not. But yeah, from the design thinking perspective, we will deep dive what's design. So design thinking is a 5-step process. The first part is empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. What is empathize here? Empathize means you have to empathize with the customer. So validating, right? Let's deep dive, because as we move into the products, I need the persona. So it's a created based on research. So a research is required to represent different user type that might use your product, service, or brand in a similar way. So you have created, suppose, 5 different persona, one persona for a one set of users, second persona for a different set of user, and you can create a different segments. And what is the specific role of user persona? You can empathize with the user. You can empathize with the customer, right? If you understand about the customer, right? If you are not understanding about the customer, you are just developing the product, you will not be able to empathize. Focus decision making. We understand what user want. We understand what are the medium to connect with the user. If we know all these things, we will be able to take focused decision. Enhance communication. We understand, if we understand the user, we know how to communicate, what are the channel, what are the pain point, then we will be effective in communicating what message we want to share. Like for a banking organization, the message for the youth, like a easy and having multiple functionalities in the mobile application, banking mobile application. But for the elderly people, that may be like a minimum functionality, and that can be have the accessibility things as well, so that the elderly person should also be able to use that application with the ease. Same application, two different segment, two different messaging, we can understand that what segment need to be passed to which type of customer. Yep. Now, how to create the user persona? Basically, to create the user persona, first gather user data, whatever data is available. Gather that user data. That may be via interview, that may be via observation. Gather user data, right? Identify patterns and segment within that particular user. Is there any pattern? Is there any common thing which is applicable to across the segment? Start crafting the persona considering these things. Detail user journey. Think it's a user journey. It's a product is not like that. If a person is using your product for 10 minute, 20 minute in a day, that does not mean that the journey is just that. Journey starts from the seeding the idea of using that product in the mind of the customer. So detail the user journey. What is user journey? Iterate and validate. User persona is not a one-time entity or it's not a one-time document. It's keep evolving. As your understanding is increasing about the particular segment, it keeps evolving. And once you are done with persona, use all of these personas into the design process. Think about your developer as well. If the developer is understanding for which persona the particular developer is creating this story, he or she will be able to understand, okay, what or will be able to empathize with the user while defining the solution, right? So this is about creating effective user persona. Now let's jump right into one of the example. So this is for the e-commerce app, and there is a one user segment, and Emily Carter is representing one user, and this persona is the for this segment. What is the average age? What is the location? What is the normal occupation? What is the education level? Is the person technical savvy or not? What are the device that person is using? Maybe iOS, Android, or whatever device is using for this or web or laptop as well, right? Uh, Bio basically a small bio to representing, like in this case, Emily is a dynamic marketing manager working for a tech startup. So this is a persona. Once a person read about this persona, he or she will be able to visualize that person. Right. What is the quote for him or her? I love finding exactly what I need quickly at a great price, what I don't have all day to search for it. Remember, this quote is very specific to related to the product which we are offering. I'm not saying that put everything, whatever you know about that persona, put whatever relevant for your product perspective. What is the goal? What is the goal for this persona? What is the frustration? Goals like time efficiency, discover new trends, seamless experience, and even they may be some having some challenges as well. What are the frustration? Like overwhelming choices, a lot of choices are there. Time to shop, it may take a lot of time. Trust in quality, there is a lot of publicity. A lot of people are saying that they are having the quality, so that's another challenge. What are the likes? So she uses her smartphone most of the online activities. Prefer platform that offer personalized recommendations. Right? All of these things. And how the e-commerce app can meet Emily needs. So this is about what organization can do and how can we fulfill the need of family. And here I mentioned some of the point. There may be some other point. How to reach this customer? What are the channels to reach this customer? All of these things can also be done. What is the shopping pattern for this customer from last 12 months, right? So this is just a bare minimum which I have shared in this screen, but you have to add few based upon your need. right? So this is about user persona, and user persona is a very helpful tool because you will be able to connect with the user and you will be having a face, that is user persona. Now let's quickly jump into another design thinking tool, that is customer journey map, right? So one design thinking tool we have discussed, user persona. Also, we have discussed some of the designing thinking tools like 5-day design sprint, empathy map previously as well in the previous sessions. Now the next tool is customer journey map. Customer journey map is a very powerful tool where you will be able to understand the journey of the customer. What are the touch point with the customer? We can visualize and analyze end-to-end experience. At the end, it provides valuable insight, pain point, where customer is happy, a holistic view with respect to each and every touch point with the customer. Yeah. So now let's quickly move to the example of customer journey map. Here I have taken a persona, that is Sarah, and Sarah want to buy a watch. And Tech Trains is a fictional organization I have taken for this examination purpose, and that is providing the smart watches, right? So what are the touch point? As I started in the user persona, that the journey started where the awareness is also. It is not about that journey is not about those 15 minute or 20 minute. Journey is all about when from the stage where person has started or the potential user has started having awareness about the product, right? So touch point is first point is awareness, second is consideration, purchase decision. After the purchase, she will use and she will be an advocate or the ambassador of the product if the customer is happy, right? So the first touch point for the awareness, so the advertisement ad, right? Visit the Tech Trends website, read product specification, and watch his demo video because she is considering after the ad. Decide to buy the smartwatch and complete the purchase through the Tech Trends website. Receive the smartwatch, set it up, and start using it daily. After a month of satisfaction, Sarah leaves a positive review on the Tech Trends website. Now, let's see what can be the feeling with respect to every touch point, thinking and thought and feeling. Like